We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright.
Josh, what's going on, brother?
What's up? How are you doing? Thanks for
I'm
having me.
no problem, man. Thank you, thank you. Like we
I
said,
appreciate the intro. Yeah, that was good love. I appreciate it.
that was
I
good. That was
appreciate
good. That
it.
was good. I'm working on
That
my
was awesome.
intros, man. I'm working on my intros.
That was awesome.
Thanks, Josh. So, let me first say, with everything going on in the world, I'm trying to do a better job of just giving people their love while we can, man. And the work that you're doing, not just on the field, but off the field, is inspiring to somebody like me, right? That continues to try to do the work, especially in higher education. But for you to be able to juggle the two, right? NFL is some kids' dreams, NASA is some kids' dreams. You're doing both, So I just want to give you the love and let you know, man, you're truly inspirational to us and some of our students that are part of our program as well.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Nah,
Thank
no
you.
problem, Josh. So let's get started, man. So we always start out with the origin superhero story of our guests, right? So when
Okay.
you come to Trill and Not Trill, you are our guest educator, guest professor. So you're Professor Dobbs moving forward, all right? So, right? So, can you just tell us your life as a kid at Alpharetta, Georgia? Like, how were things? Like, was football always something you wanted to do? Did you enjoy science? Like, tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about yourself.
So growing up, I'm the only child. I was born in Birmingham. Moved
Okay.
to Alpharetta when I was 5. So, sports and extracurriculars were kind of like my activities to get out of the house, interact with people my age, hang out, with my friends, various things. So my parents signed me up for sports super early. Started playing baseball when I was 4, accidentally got signed up for tackle football when I was 5. So I played football, baseball, basketball. But while I played sports, I also did and was signed up for various other activities, such as like science camps, math camps, chess club, just about anything you could be signed up in as a kid. I was in attendance. So I did that, and those experiences that I did, throughout elementary school, middle school, high school, allowed me to kind of figure out my interests. I loved aviation. I went to the Kennedy Space Center for the first time when I was 7. When we would travel, like as a family, I loved flying. So I was like the aviation nerd that would fly and then look up the planes when we got
That's
home,
dope, man.
got to the crib. So I just had a fascination
dope.
for it. So by the time I got to high school, all those activities, had just compounded, and I knew, okay, I'm good at math and science. I love aviation. I have a passion for space. So I wanted to pursue that, as well as I was good at football. I was good at baseball as well. So I was trying to figure out what college I wanted to go to. I was picking like, 1, who has aerospace engineering, and then
Right.
2, am I going to play football or baseball? So I was kind of figuring out those two, and ended up turning into Tennessee was the best place for me to play in the SEC, as you shared, play for such a tradition-rich school, and have my aerospace engineering degree with a minor in business. So it worked out perfectly.
Right, man. I'm showing my age a little bit. I was a big Peerless Price, T.
Okay.
Martin,
Yeah,
fan. I know
those were the
Peyton Manning, of
goats.
course, and but T. Martin and Peerless Price, those were my guys when I was a kid.
Those
Man.
are those are legends. Those are like legendary names. Those are like the people when I got to Tennessee, and you got a chance to meet a couple of them, and they were around. It's like, wow, I want to leave that type of, I guess, that type of impact on the university as those guys left before me. So they motivate you and push you to excel every day.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I think we'll get to that too, man, because you did leave your impact on the university, in my opinion, right? So, can you just tell the parents, because sometimes we have parents that come in here, the importance of, you said that you was playing football, you did chess. What is the importance of just being involved and being active as a kid?
That I think it's extremely important for as a kid to literally sign up and participate in as many events as possible.
Right.
I think when you're youthful, you're so young, you don't truly know what you're good at, and 2, what you like. So
Exactly.
being able, at least for me, to sign up and be in various things, I was able to learn so much about myself, like little things. Like I was in the chorus when I was like in elementary, middle school. And I found out quickly I can't sing. So like I would have never known
I was
I
gonna
couldn't
ask,
sing if
bro.
I didn't sign up for. Yeah, no, I'll hide the vocals. But it's just like little things like that, It's like you don't truly know what you're interested in as a 4th grader. So sign up for
Right.
things, experience things,
Right.
put yourself out there. So by the time you get to high school, college, one, you're comfortable in your own skin. Two,
Absolutely.
you have a feeling of what you're truly passionate about. And then three, you have a plan. Okay, this is exactly what I want to do moving forward.
I mean, that's great advice. Listen, man, when Josh drops the dope advice, put the football emoji or the spaceship emoji in the comments. We showing energy in here, man. Don't play no games. Don't be out here just taking advice and not showing no love. So moving on. So high school, usually when you play sports and you do academics, it tends to get a little difficult around high school. How was you able to balance the two? Like, how were you able to balance your academics and stay consistently on the football field and do great things on the football field at the same time?
Yeah, I know you definitely hit it on the head. It does get difficult around high school, especially like
Yep.
recruiting, just
Yep.
that added level of pressure. Like, I'm trying to figure out which college I'm going to. I think, it starts early. So I started doing a lot when I was early. So I was able to learn how to take an advanced curriculum, balance that with sports, and just manage my time effectively. So by the time I got to high school, it was the habits I created in elementary school, middle school that allowed me to excel through high school. I built more habits, learned more than college when the stage got bigger. So I think when you start early, like, you build habits, you build the foundation.
Right,
They say like
right.
Rome wasn't built in a day, to being able to study aerospace engineering and football, that didn't happen overnight. The habits that I created and my parents helped create it and the people around me helped me create when I was younger, helped me excel through high school and college.
No, that's great. That's great, man. That's great advice. Great information. So let's talk about college a little bit, right? So let's move on from high school and let's dig deep into college, right? So this is the real, to me, we'll get to the NFL, but to me, college is another big jump, probably in playbook all the way up to academics, right? So there's a big difference. So let's talk about college football first. What are some tips for high school students leaving from high school into a big conference, like playing in a big conference? Like, what are some tips you have for a student athlete?
I think the biggest thing first is just show up and compete. That's where it starts. Your level, for one, when you get there, obviously guys are going to be stacked at different skill levels. Guys might, football IQ, but all that you can learn with your effort. But, if you have to show up and compete on a day-to-day basis. Like in the SEC, it's literally eat or be eaten. It's the best of the best competing in practice, and then boom, on Saturday. So you have to show up and compete every day. So as a high schooler who wants to make it to the next level, like, the first is your competitive nature. Show up and compete. Then two is your willingness to learn and improve. For me, whether it was like on the field or off the field, every single day I tried to say, okay, let me get better in this aspect. Whether it's something in my footwork, fundamentals, understanding of the playbook, understanding of just football knowledge, if it was something I wanted to fix in my habits, just identifying a way to get better and then doing it and then continuing to stack those days. You never make the same mistake twice. And every day is a new opportunity. So identifying ways to constantly improve. So by the time, like, when you get there, you're, that raw freshman. At least for me, I was that raw freshman. I was like 180, dripping wet when I showed up on campus. And then you leave. Yeah, I had to get the weight on quick. So by the time, you finish your career, you learn, you've molded yourself into, a consistent player in the SEC. And that comes from just the work ethic, the competitive nature, and the constant improvement.
Josh, I forgot to mention, what made you choose Tennessee? You kind of talked about it a little bit, but what was that final thing that made you say, I'm going to sign to Tennessee? This is it. This is the school.
So, going into recruitment, I was the guy that, switched commitments on signing day. So
that guy with the hat.
I was the guy who took off a hat, put on the Tennessee hat. But I was committed to Arizona State for a long time.
Okay.
So going into, my final weeks of recruitment, at ASU, I was thinking about going to Stanford, actually play baseball, potentially going to Ivy, Princeton, and Tennessee. Those are kind of like my top four. So I ended up taking my official visit my 18th birthday weekend. It was like the last weekend you could take official visits. Okay. And I showed up on campus, not really knowing what to expect. And by the end of the weekend, I was like, I'm going to school here. And so for me, I was looking for a school that, one, had engineering. That was important. Two, opportunity to play football against the best competition with the opportunity to play early as well. And then 3, a place that felt like home, because that's the biggest thing. So many people, you commit to a school, commit for a coach, you get to school there. For some reason, maybe something happens, you're not on the field, you can't play football, or the coach leaves, and you don't truly enjoy going to school there. So I wanted to go to a school that where I knew for some reason I couldn't wake up every day to play football. I would still love going to school there. So that's the key. So when I left campus, when I left Knoxville, like Sunday, January 27th, I was like, I'll sign here in 2 weeks to come to school here, because it had everything I was looking for: the family atmosphere, opportunity to play in the SEC and play early behind. You just mentioned some of the great names that played QB: T. Martin, Peyton Manning, Tony Robinson, Condris Holloway. Guys that were dominant players in the SEC. So to be a part of that lineage, and then the opportunity to study engineering, aerospace specifically, and pursue my dreams off the field as well.
Nice, man. That's amazing. What is like one learning lesson you learned during that first year, that freshman year? You played quarterback as a true freshman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback is a tough position. There's no hiding, There's no, you make a mistake, everybody's going to let you know.
Not at all.
More. And how was that? What are some tips around that, or something that you've seen or learned real quickly?
I quickly learned, like, you can't miss any opportunities. I'll give you the example. So it was my first start. We're playing at Mizzou. And at that time, they were like top 5 in the country. So it's the second quarter, and it's a tight game. I think it was like 10-3 at the time. And it getting a little out of hand in the fourth. But at this point, we had a chance. Like, we were right there. It's like 10-3. We're driving. We're in the red zone. Ball's on like the 20-yard line. We ran like a bubble pump with stock and goes. And they blew the stock and go. The guy was wide open. So, and I missed. I missed it was a walk-in touchdown. I missed him. In high school, if that happens, you miss a walk-in touchdown. Literally, as a quarterback, you're thinking, I'll get one the next play. Next play, somebody's going to be open. When I tell you there wasn't another receiver open for the rest of the game. So they're like, everyone is glued up for the rest of the it was that moment. I said, wow, it's like you cannot miss one opportunity. And that translates to a lot of aspects of just college and just life. It's the opportunity presents itself. You have to be able to jump on it. You have to be prepared for the situation. Talking to one of my friends today, he's like, he said, you're always preparing. So if you ever get placed in a situation, an opportunity, you're always ready, because you've been preparing the whole time leading up to that. So that taught me that was the on the field example, but those opportunities are slim, and when they come, you got to take advantage of them, whether it's on the football field, in the classroom, in just life, whatever it may be. When those opportunities present themselves, you have to jump on them.
Yeah, man, you got to be ready, because you just never know who's watching. That's also another thing, and I know that happened for a lot of athletes as well, where they have one good game. They might have been bad the whole season, and that one good game got them offers across the country. So and that goes the same way in the classroom. That goes the same way as we go through COVID, as students can apply to jobs. Like, stay ready, keep preparing yourself, keep learning new trades, new tricks, new ideas, become an expertise, because at any given moment, a company could bring you in and change your life forever. So that's a really good point, man. So thanks, Josh. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, I think you hit on some. I don't want to cut you off. I think you hit on something
go.
Crucial right there. Like, especially right now, we have a lot of dead time at home per se. You hit it on the head. Like, this is the time to learn a new trait, learn a new skill, because as you said, you apply for new job openings, new opportunities, but when you get in those opportunities, a skill you might have just learned at home during your free time could help you take that next step in that job, or in that internship, or in class, whatever it may be. So using this free time you have right now productively, instead of just sitting there staring at a TV.
Right, exactly, Josh. I mean, we know you take advantage of your time. You're a
quarterback. I try my best, man.
We'll get to that in a minute. But I'm trying to figure out, how do you find it? We'll talk about it. So again, as a quarterback, 2015, 2016, you guys were 9-4, I believe, right? 2 years in a row. Tell us your mindset going into that season. Like I said, the SEC is a tough conference. I know you had a tough game against Alabama, for example, and some other teams. Like, what is your mindset preparing for those big moments, right? I want to transfer these skills to not only just football, but like job interviews or internships for that dream. Like, how do you prepare for that big moment?
I think it's exactly how you stated it. It's in your preparation and the details of it. You know, when it's like it's the same way. You practice how you play, so you make every single moment like a game opportunity. So when you're in practice in the spring, you know, you're practicing as if you're getting ready for those games. You're practicing as you would play. So by the time you get in the games, you know, you've already taken 1,000 game reps. Now you're just out there playing football, reading and reacting. So it's all in the preparation. For me, like on the field, I try to make everything like game simulation. So everything I'm doing, I'm trying to get simulated reps. So by the time you get out there on the field, you've already played game speed. You've already put your body, your mind in every possible situation. So you're not thinking, you know, you're reacting because you've already played each play mentally and physically. And that translates to like interviews or just life. You know, if you wake up every day with a purpose and you're constantly thinking in your head, okay, how am I preparing myself for the next opportunity? You're strategically putting yourself, your mind, your body in those situations. Then when you're in those opportunities, you know, you're just be yourself. You've already done it. You've done it 1,000 times. It's in your preparation. It's in your practice. You've already gotten 10,000 reps at it. So now you can just go execute.
No, that's great. That's great. And if I can add anything else to that, it's just, you know, when you're prepared and you're ready, you know, I told students, you know, prepare yourself like you're still going to class. Yes, you might have been home on quarantine. Prepare yourself like you're still going to work. You know, if you got to get up at 6 and you know you had to get up at 6 for your job, do the same thing. You know, dress up like you're going to work. Like if you have that preparation, you have that mindset and that consistency, that's what's going to really take you to the top. So just wanted to jump in on that, man. That's amazing stuff. So now we talked about the college football stuff and Alabama. I'm not going to go too far. Maybe we can have another conversation one day in the future.
Sounds like you're an Alabama fan over here.
I'm an ACC fan, to be honest with you. All right? I like Florida State, to be honest.
Okay. We got to get them to revive. You guys got my coach, Chris Norvell. He recruited me. He was the QB coach and OC at Arizona State when I was committed out there.
Oh, wow.
Small world.
Change of hats. I got you.
Yeah. So it's crazy how it comes full circle.
It is. So talk about the classroom in Tennessee. What kept you focused? You know, because I always think about it as an athlete, you know, having that tough game on Sunday and have to go do your homework or take a test. I know how some games it's like somebody died in your family, right?
Yeah. It's tough. Those Sundays can be tough.
The next day, right? So like, how did you maintain that 4.0 and do so well academically while still doing the stuff you're doing on the field?
Yeah, the main thing I was able to do, and it's difficult. It truly is difficult. Right. So I'm not saying this like it's extremely easy, but you literally have to just compartmentalize everything and wake up every single day as much as you can refreshed and ready to attack the day. You have to stay motivated and stay focused on the task. So, I mean, there's different ways you can do that. One, as I said, is the habits that you've created throughout your childhood, through different experiences that helped me in college, whether it was understanding how to truly manage my time, how to maximize the 18 hours of the day you're awake, and just get the most out of every single time period. Second, it was the people you surround yourself with. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you have to surround yourself with people that are motivated on the same mission as you, because if you don't, that's when you get distracted. You know, they say you're a product or some of the 5 people you hang around the most. Right. So you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that are similar to you, that have the same goals, same ambitions as you, and you can hold each other accountable. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. So who's your village? For me, that was people who were just as motivated as I am, who were going to college for difficult degrees, who were making the most of their time in the classroom, in the community, on the field. So that's extremely important. And then 3, you know, you just have to be willing to sacrifice. You know, I think when you're on a different mission, when your plans are a little unique and a little different than everyone else's, you have to be willing to sacrifice the time and the leisures that others can enjoy. So those are kind of the 3 ways I was able to stay focused, maintain myself, and grind through college and kind of prepare myself to post-college.
Right. So I think that you did too. You know, your major is very competitive and being on the football field is very competitive. So is there any advice on losing a tough game or failing that test? How do you bounce back?
I know more on the losing games than the failing test side.
Okay.
But I had some difficult tests. I had some difficult tests. I think the biggest way, like the bounce back key, the biggest thing you can do is understand that you never lose, you just learn. So in those losses, you know, yes, of course, like your record shows a loss, but in my mind, you know, you never saw a loss. It was learning opportunities. Okay, why did I lose? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Okay, how can I improve that? Boom. This is how I improve. Okay, on to the next game. Because the thing is, like, every single game, every single day, every single rep, every single opportunity, they're all mutually independent of the next and the previous. So you can't let a past game, a past performance affect your next one. You have to stay focused on the idea of, okay, let me learn, let me grow, let me improve. Whether you play well, whether you play poorly, just improve and move on to the next one. So that's always my mindset. You know, our coach always would tell us snap and clear. You know, whether it's a good play or bad play, snap, clear it, move on to the next one. So that's my mindset, and that's what helps me, whether I have a good moment, positive moment, or whether, you know, I have a loss, you know?
Nah, perfect. So my other question, you talked about time management a little bit. So when we talk about you on the field, when you had those internships and externships, was it at the same time as the season? How did you do it the same? Like, how did that work?
So in college, the two with Pratt and Whitney, we get 1 month off in college. So, I mean, we're on for 11 months. And May is our month off. So I would set them up for May. I would go May. I did one in Florida and then one in Montreal, Canada. And I would use that time there. The externships with NASA, per se, that was in February. So right when the season ends, you know, you have a little time to kind of rest, recuperate mentally and physically from just the grind of the season. So I'll use that to maximize that time during those situations. So I'm not really good with off time, as you can tell. You probably tell. So I try to constantly be evolving and learning, and that's the way I use my time.
Nah, I got it, man. Got it. So we talked about the classroom. We talked about college. Before we move on to the NFL, is there 2 or 3 things you'd like to share to students that are graduating?
I think one, I want to say congratulations. I know this graduation period probably was a little different than a lot of students imagine, just with everything being virtual and kind of how the semester shaped out. But I don't think that doesn't degrade your congratulations and your accomplishment on graduating, because it was a great feat, whether it's from high school, from college, or really any school. So congratulations to you. The second thing that I would say is, you know, just take this moment and build on it. You know, whatever you're graduating from, you know, it's the start of the next opportunity. So take everything that you've learned from the past opportunity and kind of use that as a springboard to the next one. And use this dead time to reach out to, whether it was past mentors, people you've crossed paths with, your connections, old professors, old teachers in your field, whatever connections you may have. Use this time period, because a lot of people are sitting at home on their computers reading emails. Use this time period to reach out, whether it's 1, to just say hello and check in, or 2, if it's to, you know, work to a potential internship or job opportunity, whatever it may be. You know, a lot of people in your field of interest, so use this time period to reach out to those people.
No, that's great advice. And that goes into what I was going to ask next before going into the professional world is how did you have naysayers? Because I'm sure some people say, you want to be a quarterback in the rocket scientist. I don't know. If so, how did you handle that pushback?
Yeah, of course I had naysayers. Of course I did.
Rocket science, get out of here, Josh. You're bugging.
Plenty of people tell me, oh, there's not enough time to do that. You can't do that. Or no one's ever done that. Just because no one's ever done it doesn't mean I can't do it. You know, it's all about your mindset. So much of it is truly about your mindset. You know, it's no matter what you do, especially when you're doing stuff unique and different, there's always going to be people on the path going to tell you what you can and cannot do, what they feel, what their opinion is, you know, how they feel you're doing at your job, whatever it might be. And at the end of the day, none of their opinions truly matter. Right. It all matters of what you do and what actions that you do to achieve those goals. So, you know, for me, you know, whether it was people on social media, people on Twitter, whatever it may be, sharing their opinion, you know, they're entitled to their freedom of speech. But I just go about my business and just continue to work, continue to grind, stay focused on the task at hand, because their opinions won't affect my outcome unless I let it. So that's my mindset. And I think to anyone that has naysayers. You know, at the end of the day, it's about you and what you believe in your heart. If you believe there's a goal that you can go out there and achieve, do it. Just do it. And whoever says you can't, you know, just block them out of your circle, surround yourself with people that believe in you, and keep going on your way.
Right. Don't let their opinions block your mindset. That's great. Because a lot of students, you know, what I'm noticing is, especially for, you know, we call it Gen Zers, they take social media really seriously. Like, that's their life. Like, that's, if whatever people say to them, they take it really seriously. So, you know, I just want to mention that even with everything that's going on, it's okay to use social media as a partial platform, but if you really want to make change, you still have to do the work, right?
I love that.
Off the platform. So, yes, I want you to be on the platform. That's a start. But to really do the true work, see what you can do off the platform. Some of this change can happen at your job, right at your college, within your classroom. You have a superpower to make a change too. So let's make it happen. I just want to bring that up.
I love that. I think you hit it on the head. Like, that's been my biggest thing. Like, social media is powerful, and it gives everyone, as I said, their freedom of speech, their way to share their opinion, especially with everything going on right now. With the police brutality, with the racial injustice. At the end of the day, it takes action, you know, and yes, the protests are amazing. Yes, everything that's going on is amazing and it's powerful. To see the images, see the pictures, see the videos, see that speech out there. But I think the important thing, as you said, is the action. Like, what are you doing in your community on a daily basis to make an impact? You know, it's not one march down the street. It's the continuous effort of reaching out to your community, reaching out to the youth, reaching out to the law enforcement, reaching out to teachers, reaching out to people that have an impact in the community, and finding ways to possibly help the people around you. So what actions, what events, what things are you putting in place on a consistent basis to make a difference? And that's where the change will occur.
Man, great stuff, Josh. So I'm gonna let some people ask a question, because it goes into our next segment, the last segment here. What was your reaction? Perfect question. What was your reaction on getting to the NFL? Okay.
There's so many emotions, honestly. You know, there's so many emotions, because when you, as I said, I started playing football when I was 5. I'm an only child. My parents, you know, weren't really into sports. So, you know, I learned to have a love and passion for football, especially growing up in Atlanta, where you're around it all the time. Right. So do you do that every day? And for me, yes, NFL has always been a big goal. But when I was 5, you know, my thing I said was, you know, I just want to be the best 5-year-old quarterback out here. You know, I got to middle school, I said I want to be the best middle school quarterback. High school, best high school quarterback. College, best college QB. So when you continuously just have that mindset, like, and then you make it to the NFL, it's really amazing, and it's a great feeling. But it's very humbling, because right when you do that, boom, you're back at the bottom of the totem pole, you know, and you're back to work, back to the drawing board, back to the grind. So being in the NFL is amazing. Being able to play football every single day as you're living is amazing, and it's a dream come true. And then the platform that you're blessed with it to just talk about your story, talk about your experiences, and just share that to people is also amazing as well. So,
no, that's great. So, tell us a little bit about not just the NFL, but when you first got in and cracked into NASA. So, you know, that's the other piece. So, yes, you had the joy of the NFL, but what about the other side? You know, when NASA came around, how did that feel?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the process. Like, how did you get involved with that?
So I got involved. So I was supposed to, through the NFLPA, our Players Association's externship program, I was supposed to do an externship with them actually last offseason. It was going to be up in Washington, D.C. at their Goddard facility. Okay. Right when I was going to do it, there was a government furlough, so it shut down the government. And so the externship got postponed because right when the government opened back up, there wasn't enough time to go through the logistics and planning to actually maximize the experience. So they said, hey, let's push it off for next externship period, which was this year. So throughout the period, through various connections, LinkedIn, shout out Scott, Colorado. He works down at NASA Kennedy Space Center, and we got connected, and we said, okay. I came on a visit to Kennedy Space Center. He said, okay, instead of doing the externship in Washington, D.C., let's do it down here at Kennedy Space Center. We were able to actually interact with some flight hardware, see the launch pads, maybe see a couple launches, be around it. So we went through the process, we put it together, and we got to finalize to be down at Kennedy Space Center for this externship period. So in this externship, I was first, I was put into the instrumentation department where I kind of learned like the lay of the land, like what they do at Kennedy Space Center. So it's much different than you think. You think at Kennedy Space Center where they're shooting off rockets, you think that's where they're building, producing, manufacturing rockets. In actuality, they're not. In actuality, the rockets are made from all across the country, and they actually come to Kennedy Space Center. They stack them there. But what they mainly work on is like flight hardware and flight accessories. So everything that mates with the rocket on the pad. So long story short, down there I was working on the mobile launcher, which a part of the next Artemis mission to go back to the moon and then to Mars. I was working on the mobile launch tower that will support that rocket. So it was working with like the hazardous gas team. I was working with the lightning detection team, the wind profiler, just various moving parts of the group. And then once I kind of got immersed, I would be on different parts of Kennedy Space Center really every day learning completely different things. So it was, as you can imagine, it was a whirlwind of experience. Every day was something new. Every day was a different part, different side of the aerospace engineering world. But it really gave me a good feel of one, what NASA does, and then two, the life of an aerospace engineer. And then three, it'll be a great experience that now that I have a broad view, I'm able to dive into different parts of the field.
No, that's great, man. So there's another question here that kind of goes hand in hand. What was it like watching the Crew Dragon take off?
That was like I can't really explain it in words because like one, being around it all the month of February, there's so much anticipation leading up to it. We're launching astronauts from the Kennedy Space Center, first time since 2011. Like so much anticipation building up to it. So to be there for it, oh wow, it was incredible. It was truly incredible. So we were like 3 miles away from it. So you could, and it is really cool. Like, so right when it launches, like you don't hear anything because it's just delayed with the sound traveling that far. So I just take off, ding, you hear everything. You just hear the rush. You can feel it in your chest. But the coolest part about it was, so I didn't work at all on that project. That project was SpaceX's contract from NASA. I'd seen it, but I had no work, no skin in the game. But being there, it was like I could feel one, the anticipation, the anxiousness of everyone in the room, everyone at SpaceX. I could just feel everything that led up to that moment. In the countdown, the last 5 seconds before it blasted off. It's been a successful mission thus far. They just have to finish their splashdown, but it was incredible.
So I want to talk about feeling the rush. What was your feeling the first time you stepped on NFL field, first snap? Was there a rush in that experience as well?
It goes so fast. It goes so fast. Like you're out there and the first play is a blur. The second play is a blur. And by the time you actually like slow everything down, take it all in, you're like 5 plays in or the first quarter's over and it just goes by. It's just like that. But it's honestly, it's football. It sounds so simple, but it's football. Once you get out there and you kind of take away all the, pregame activities, the crowd, everything around the game, you just focus on what's on the field, it's football.
No, that's a great answer. Some people
football.
are like, that's it? That's all?
That's it. It's football. It's football.
So, and with football, with the NFL and NASA, a really good question. I seen you bring this up in an article, but I want to ask it myself. But what teamwork skills have you learned in both NASA and NFL? And can the two worlds coexist when it comes to teamwork?
Yeah, definitely. It's really interesting to kind of see the comparisons. That's why I enjoy doing these opportunities in the off season. You're able to kind of put your mind in a different space and see how football and engineering will correlate, especially with NASA. So as I said, originally I was in the instrumentation department, which is like a sub department of everything that kind of comes together to work on the Artemis mission, which is the final mission. So I started instrumentation. I was shadowing a couple people. Boom. Now I went over to a different session, was shadowing a couple people. Went over to a different facility, was shadowing a couple more people. Went over to like the cryogenics lab, shadowed someone. Went over to swamp work, shadowed someone. And then I went into the launch control room and sat in on a cryogenics simulation, which is where they simulate fueling the rocket with propellant. And to go in that room and see the 20 people that I had shadowed across the room and kind of see how each person I shadow, how their system fit into the whole group and how it all came together on launch day. It was exactly the dynamics with the team. It was like you shadow the O-line for a day, then you shadow the receivers for a day, then you shadow DBs for a day. You just see how everything works, how it's all interconnected. So on game day, it just comes together. It's just one cohesive team. And the communication's there. And even though they have more people, just seeing how well you communicate, how you have to communicate to have a productive team, the teamwork, it coexists in all fields, whether you're on the athletic fields or whether you're prepping a rocket to launch to space.
No, that's great. That's great information. Communication is key. So there's another question I want to ask from the audience, and then we're going to kind of wrap this thing up. What is your main goal going forward in the NFL and your life in general?
In the NFL, so I haven't had the opportunity to officially start during the regular season, as well as lead my own organization. So that is my goal, and that's what I'm working toward every single day. In life in general, my main goal is to make an impact in whatever I'm doing, whether it's on the field, in the engineering world, or just walking to the grocery store. My goal is just to make a positive impact on the people I interact with, on the people I come across, on the organizations, on the groups, whoever it may be, whatever it may be, what I come across, to make a positive impact. And however I can help improve someone else's day, that's what I strive for. So those are kind of, I guess, my big goals. But I think, you got to focus on the small goals to add up into the big goal. And that's what I'm focusing on each day, giving small little baby steps, baby bites in order to achieve my end goals. So.
No, that's dope, man. Tro Natural supports you, man. Whatever organization you're on, we're cheering for you, man. I'm telling you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
We got you. We got you.
Thank you.
So we're going to wrap this thing up. But before we go, just to let you know, Tro Natural started out as a blog. So we should take education and turn it into, we should turn take pop culture and turn it into education. So we should do things like what Beyonce can teach you, what Lemonade can teach you about social justice, what Kanye West can teach you about public speaking. So we're a big pop culture organization. So we have a couple questions before you leave.
Okay. Right? We gotta get the pop culture questions out, right?
We're gonna go sports. I'm not gonna go crazy. All right. So I want to hear some inside information, right? So the inside information, nothing crazy. Who is the best player you ever faced in football? High school, college, and the NFL. And
best player I ever
faced. Fine too.
Jeez, I faced some good ones, man. You put me on the spot. Okay, so so junior year we went to Florida. I think we played the best defense I've ever seen. Both their safeties. I think it was Marcus Mays. Who's their other safety? They're both first round.
Marcus Mays,
first round safeties. Both corners were first rounders. They had Vernon Hargraves was one corner. I think Quincy Williams was the other. Keanu Neal was the other safety. So 4 first rounders in the secondary. At linebacker, they had Jared Davis, and another dude that went first or second round. Whole D line went first round. I was like, looks like this. Here we go. We got a battle today. So that was a squad. I think Minka Fitzpatrick. He was at Alabama. He's in Pittsburgh now. He was a stud.
I'm from Jersey, man.
In college, you never really have a guy. Yeah. You never really have a guy that's just don't. You never have a guy that was just don't throw to that side of the field. But he was one of those caliber guys at college. So I don't know. In the SEC, you could probably name someone on every team. We had Derek Barnett. He was a stud with us at Tennessee. So there's always. I think the best player I played with on Austin's side of the ball, Alvin Kamara is a stud. And he kind of showed it.
Yeah, there we go.
And he will continue to show how dominant he is. He's a matchup problem out of the backfield. So played with a lot of good players, that's for sure. With and against.
So that wasn't bad. All right, so who was your favorite player growing up? who is the guy that you really look up to, maybe still to this day?
I enjoy watching Donovan McNabb. He was in Philly when I was coming up. I wore number 5 because he wore number 5 when I was a kid. So that was one of my favorite players to watch. Him, yeah, I was pretty tuned into Donovan McNabb growing up.
Okay, all right. So if we opened up your iTunes, I'm assuming that you listen to iTunes. It could be Tidal, it could be Spotify. I don't want to mess up any sponsors.
I'm Apple Music. I'm an Apple Music guy.
Okay, all right. Apple Music. All right, we're cool. All right, we're good. All right, so Apple Music. If I open up your Apple Music right now, what is the number 1 song that's gonna play?
Ooh, oh, "Nice for What" by Drake. That's my jam.
Okay,
that's my jam. That's my jam. That one has I can rock it for working out, little road trip vibe, chill vibe at the crib, whatever. But I like to say I have good taste in music, and I think I didn't really think so until all my friends keep asking me, "Yo, send me that playlist. Send me that playlist."
Okay.
So if you want to follow my Apple Music playlist, it's out there. If you want to check out what type of vibes I'm putting out there, I think I have some good stuff for you. But "Nice for What's my."
Is it just your name? How do you find it?
Yeah, I think you just search the name in the search, and it comes up on like shared playlists.
I'm gonna go find it. Josh,
okay.
I'm gonna go find it, and I'm gonna DM
shoot me your opinion. Yeah, if you have some additions, I'm open. I'm trying to get better.
I got
you got some good music I've heard about.
Yeah, too, man. I got some
shoot it my way. I'm with it. I like that.
All right. If I was pop culture, if I was to go on one of your streaming networks like Netflix, TV, what is your favorite movie?
What's my favorite movie?
Yes.
So it actually just came up. It came back. So favorite movie franchise, I'm a Star Wars guy. All right. I watch it all. If I just had to watch one movie, like a comedy, lighthearted, I like Hancock. Because I like Will Smith. Okay. Movie's funny, superhero movie. It kind of fits everything. So, but Star Wars is my go-to. Every single one. Okay. I got some opinions about the last 3, but we don't have to get into that.
No, we don't have
for another day.
We don't have to.
For another day.
We don't have to do that, right? I don't know if you're a sneaker guy. I don't know if you like sneakers.
I'm a sneaker guy.
Trill, not trill. We're writing a book called We Wear Kicks to Work. So we're sneaker heads on this side of the house.
I respect it.
Just going to put that out there. So what is your favorite sneaker? If I go in your closet
Jordan
right now.
Jordan 1.
Any colorway?
Jordan 1.
Any colorway?
So my faves, I like the traditional, like the breads. I like all of it. My faves, though, are the ones that dropped this year. The scratch off SBs, the New York to Chicago.
Yes.
And the what's the other one? Paris to LA to Paris or something.
LA to Paris, yep.
LA to Paris. Yeah, those are my faves. Those are probably the ones that I would kind of rock them like every day. But I think I have. My mom's watching this too, so she knows how many Jordan 1s I have. That's my go-to.
So really quick, just to bring up parents, my dad is on here a lot. My dad's a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He was a huge fan of yours. Just want to put that out there. So shout out to my dad as well.
I appreciate it.
Last but not least, and we're gonna let you go, Josh. This is always a tough one. All right, your top 5 rappers. Top 5 rappers.
Golly, you were putting me on the spot.
Hey, man, you should have watched the live, man. I should have watched the previous live. You'd have known, but top 5 rappers.
Hey, I like this off the cuff. I think I love J. Cole. I think he's real.
Okay.
He's real. He's probably number 1. I like Drake, obviously, with the Nice for What.
Okay.
I gotta get 3 more.
3 more, man.
No pressure. I think one guy that's like come on the scene lately, I like Joyner Lucas.
Joyner Lucas, okay.
Snaps.
I'm trying to get him alive, man. It didn't work out too well. But
he snaps. I'm a fan of his. He just dropped a remix with Will Smith.
Yep.
That was a good song. Oh, 2 more. Sheesh.
You said you're the music guy. I thought,
I know. I just want to make sure I think about everyone in my head. Hold on, let me. I can look at me. Look, I gotta pull up. I gotta pull up the phone. I enjoy some Kevin Gates. He's kind of like
Okay.
my switch up. I want to
Kevin
get
Gates is the
hype.
guy. Do people love him or nah?
You either love him or hate him.
That's it. That's it. There's no in between.
Love
Kevin
him,
Gates.
love him or hate him. And then I'm gonna have to get like the baby's hot right now, but I respect him. Roddy Ricch is hot.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think, like, I don't know if I put those in my top 5, like what I'm gonna listen to. Probably a little. I like Future.
No Hov,
He's
no
hot.
Nas. I mean, maybe I'm showing my age here. No Hov.
No,
Nas.
I like those. I gotta get better at my throwbacks, though. I gotta get better.
I know. I'm gonna send you
is
something.
fire.
I got you.
Hey, send me a playlist. I'm
I
telling you,
got
send
you,
me a
bro.
playlist.
I got you.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
saying, and if you have like a big game, like let's say you played the playlist before the game, right? And you start, this when you're on your organization, you have a huge game. Just like, man, this guy Professor Williams playlist is the reason I have 450 yards today.
I'm gonna give you the shout out. First interview, the one they give you on the 50-yard line right after the game.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's where the shout outs come.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
You heard it here first.
I'm gonna hold you to it. All right, Josh, man. Listen, again, we truly appreciate you. I know my students and I know people around the country really, really look up to you. I know that you mentioned being a quarterback and working at NASA, and you say it's so cool and laid back, just like the cool laid back cats in Atlanta. But you're doing some major work. And any way Trill or Not Trill can help you, any way you're trying to talk to some more students in colleges or curriculums or anything, any idea you have, the door is always open, man. Reach out to us. You have my number now. Just shoot me a text, email, whatever it takes, and I definitely want to be able to help you. So I just want to put that.
I appreciate that. Definitely. I appreciate that, Professor Williams. Thank you for having me. It was awesome to share my story and hear from you as well. I love your talking points as well. So, yeah, we'll definitely have to stay connected and get some things in action.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. So have a great day, man. Have a great season. And I can't wait to see you run an organization because it's going to happen. All right, man?
Coming soon. You know it. God bless. Stay safe.
All right, man. See you later, Josh. And see you later, Josh's mom. I know your mom was in here. See you later, Mom.
See you guys.
All right. So that was a great interview, man. My man Josh was in the building. Thank you all for coming. For those of you that don't know, this is Trill and Not Trill. We'll be back tomorrow with a special edition with the co-founders, Jeff and I, making an announcement. We're going to have a really good guest next week on Zoom. We're going to make an announcement. I want you guys to all pull up. We also have a guest next week on June 10th, Joy Taylor from Fox Sports, talking about journalism from her perspective and, working with Colin Cowherd and her degree from Barry University. So that's really dope. Yeah, man, that was great. Top 5. I know I'm getting old when top 5 rappers and Jay-Z and Nas is not mentioned. Yeah, I'm getting old. I just had to take a moment. I had to take a moment of silence right there. I'm hurt. I'm kind of hurt. I'm hurt. With Kevin Gates, it's top. All right. But yeah, Josh, man, that was great. I'm sure we'll keep in contact. I'm giving that playlist, help them out. For those that ask questions, thank you. If you have more questions, just shoot them my way. I'll do my best to get Josh to answer. And thank you all for listening. Thank you all. Crystal, I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm hurt. Yeah, so we're out. See you tomorrow. We'll be back. Listen, stay safe. Stay true. Stay melanated. Stay in your power. Understand your superpower. And any work you want to do, remember, social media is the start. Continue to do the work outside of social media as well. Protect your energy. Protect your space. The unfollow button is working. The unfriend button is working. The block button is working. Make sure you keep yourself safe mentally and physically. Trill or Not Trill loves you. We're going to do our best to help you. We're going to continue to educate. We're going to continue to do this work. Thank you for coming.
We gon' be alright.